Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another boost. It's fantastic to have you here. Thank you for joining us. I hope everybody is well. And what have we got up? We've got another 30-minute approximately boost on Stay Engaged. Hey, Colin. Hello, Joanna Mark. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Perrin. Hey, great to have you here. Great to have you here. So, the usual stuff. Can you see and hear me okay? If you can give me a little hello in the chat just to make sure you can, that would be fantastic. Doesn't matter about seeing me, but if you can hear me, great stuff. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, guys. Hello, Helen. Hello, Marion. Hello, Marion again. Hello, Michael. Look, great. Thank you so much for joining us again. It's fantastic to have you here. Thank you for all the feedback. We're listening. We're changing what we can as we go along. So, first question for you. We asked, what percentage of new customers comes as a result of social media, do you think? Now, if you haven't voted already, have a go now. There's a poll down here in the middle tab and click what you think the answer might be. And the key thing of this is new. So let's have a look and see what you're thinking. Okay. 7%, I think, 12% are thinking 7%, 66 are thinking 49, and 22% are thinking 93. If you haven't voted already, still sort of vote now. So you guys think 49%, 66 of you think 49%. Thank you for voting. It's a staggering 93% from the research that's been done. For new customers, 93% is from social media. Wow, that's an amazing stat that blows my mind. So let's talk about stats and let's talk about social media. 3.5 billion users worldwide. It equates to about 90% of millennials are on social media. And when we talk about millennials, we're talking about anybody that's now aged from 20 to 40. They fit in that millennial bracket. It's a huge section of the audience. Then we've got Gen Z, that's on the rise. We've got baby boomers, that's on the rise. Social media is growing. And what? How much time are people spending on there? Almost 3 hours a day. I'm nervous when I say that. 3 hours a day. It's mad. It's crazy. And with 93% potentially coming from social media, it's really important to consider it and how can we use it. Now, lockdown. We know about lockdown. You know our view on lockdown and COVID. We are trying to see everything as a positive right now. So any negativity, we're just going to park and we're just trying to figure out how we can use this for good. Now, what have we seen since lockdown in terms of usage of social media? It's gone up 40%. 40%. The usage of social media since lockdown. And I get it. I get why. People are at home. People have got their phones looking for an outlet, looking for things to do, looking for inspiration, good thoughts, everything. Now, lockdown on you. It might have had its challenges. It might be difficult. However, this storm will pass. And if we're going to see this as an opportunity, we've got to jump in and do something with it now. And this is what we're going to talk about. How do we engage new potential customers in the future right now? I know, Colin, it's not just for pet images, although that is a big part of it. But good spot. So you might like this woman. You might not like this woman. This is Mary Portas. And thank you, Vicky, who actually shared this link with me, which I thought was brilliant around the future of the high street, etc. But one thing she does say, and I do agree with her, is those that do come out of this time and have used this time to engage with social media will come out with a deeper connection with their followers. Right now, we're buying into brands. We're listening. We're looking. We really are engaging. And there's a chance for brands to be found right now. But you've got to know your audience. And this is where we're going to spend a little bit of time now understanding where your audience might be online. Now, very, very quickly, let's do a little sweep of the platforms that are out there. You guys know all this, but let's just go over it again. YouTube, a surprising place to start, but with 35 million users in the UK, it's an important one, and it is social media, the second biggest search engine. We're watching about 40 minutes on average on YouTube. 28 is that average age, but it does span everybody, more so now than ever before. Facebook is up next, 34 million users. The average age is 31 and growing all the time with those baby boomers on there. LinkedIn, 20 million in the UK, really good engagement compared to other countries. Next up is Instagram, 17 million, followed by Twitter, 13 million. Snapchat is that icon, 12 million, and finally Pinterest at 2. What's not on here is TikTok, and it should be. TikTok was the third most downloaded app last year. Really short form video content. However, it aims at a much younger audience, 16 plus. So again, kind of know your audience, know where they live, and this is kind of where you need to be operating. But this is the stuff. You can give me. I'll share them with you. The numbers definitely. But this is the stuff I want to really get you thinking about, and it's trends. And this is about not just knowing where your audience is, but what they are doing. And this I love, and we're gonna have some fun with this. So let's go with us a little bit. So trends. What are trends? Trends are basically what we see people search, and what people search gives us a massive indication of where they're at right now, where their headspace is at, the things they are doing. Now, there's there's a tool called Google Trends, and this tracks search volumes and the spikes of it. And to show you it in action, let's show you one, for example, coronavirus. We know this, we know people started searching around it, and this pattern here you can see is the trends of what we saw with the spike being here. Now, I'm going to put another key date on here because I think we're going to look at this date for a long time as a massive changer of behavior. And it's this date. It's the 23rd of March, lockdown date. And we've seen so many shifts since that date, so many landmark shifts since that date. And as you can see on here, people were searching for coronavirus before the lockdown. We wanted to find out information about it. But what else were we searching about? So the first thing we did, or were forced to do, was turn to technology. Suddenly we had to communicate in another way. Excuse me. So what did we do? We got our technology out. We started Googling things. We started getting help around this. The first thing we searched for was Zoom. Of course we did. Look at the spike in searches of Zoom. And to give you some ideas of the numbers on this, 2.1 million searches on the downloads, on the 23rd of March. I can't get my words out. Oh, good old Zoom. Look at it. Look how it spiked. It was nowhere before. And the share price of Zoom has skyrocketed. If only we had a crystal ball and could have bought shares back in January, we'd be very, very wealthy right now. But look what we did after this. We searched how to use Zoom. I need a drink. Of course we did. We got it. And we're like, I don't understand how this works. And if you haven't got a teenager in your house, you can give it to show you. You need to figure these things out and look at the searches of how to use Zoom. We downloaded it and then we figured it out. And now we are pub quizzing on it most nights. But some people approached it a little bit differently and thought, how can we use this time to learn something, try new things? Learning guitar, for example. These are the searches of learning guitar. They were there before, but look how they spike afterwards. So we're all there now, sat with our guitars that we might have had for years or bought now and learning guitar. What else are we learning? Spanish. Hola. I'm done. O dos cerveza, por favor. Now I'm done. 2 beers, that's greedy. I'm by myself here. But look at the spikes again. So we thought, well, let's use this time as a bit of development time. How many of you are now playing guitar and speaking Spanish? You're more cultured than I am. But what else did our audience start doing? Well, they started to wonder how they were going to stay fit. What were they doing before? What would they need to do afterwards? So what did they search? Home workouts. Look at that spike on home workouts. Pretty much who or where or how are we going to do our workout? How are we going to stay fit afterwards? And who came to the rescue? Anybody with kids, you know this. Mr. Joe Wicks came to the rescue. Boom! Absolute spike on Joe Wicks. We love Joe Wicks in our house. 9 o'clock PE with Joe in his fancy dress. How he does it in the suit with the full shoes as well, I have no idea whatsoever. But look at this. Colin, I love this. Cooking, baking, I'd say hi. I totally agree with you. And do throw in the chat anything that you think, though you're seeing trends as well. So on exercise, what we've also seen is a rise for women's bike. I'm laughing at Vicky's comment about the waistline, and we will get to that as well. Not your waistline in particular, but other people's waistlines. Look at this one. This one's interesting. See the gradual growth of this. How to cut your own hair, Michael? Definitely. Women's bike is interesting because I think what's happened here is it wasn't an immediate. They thought, well, what actually are we going to start doing maybe as a family? Well, actually, let's go for family bike rides. The weather's got better. Let's go outside and look at that growth over time. I find that really, really interesting. And having just purchased the bike at the weekend for my wife, part of that is me as well. So I'm contributing to this. So then what else did we do? We went outside. And started growing things. What can we do outside? Well, we all turn into budding green fingers and all started planting things. Vegetable garden, for example. Again, look at the spikes on vegetable garden outside. And then with all these green fingers, what did we need to do with them? We needed to wash them. Where did we want to wash them? Of course, we want to wash them in a hot tub. Anybody with a hot tub hire business right now is doing pretty well. Look at these spikes we're seeing. Again, due to the nice weather. And of course, dog walking. Joanna Mark, you're absolutely right. I'm seeing dogs being dragged along now because they're being walked so much. How the tide has turned. So when we're done outside, we've then turned inside. And who said it? Colin said it. Of course, we've gone into the kitchen. What can we do in the kitchen? Bake. Everybody has become a baker, including my 3-year-old son, who's now a keen baker. Look at the spike on searches for baking. So there's the reason why there's no eggs and flour in the supermarkets, because they're all being bought up by these new habits that people are forming. And there's some amazing things creeping out of the kitchen as well. I might say this incorrectly. Let me know if anybody has done this. Dalgona coffee. Okay, this didn't even exist before lockdown. And look at the spike in searches of it afterwards. What it is basically a very elaborate coffee you can make with the ingredients that you should have in your house. I think it's just sugar, coffee, and milk. It should look something like this. I think you can have it hot or cold. Has anybody tried that yet? Apparently it's very, very nice. Apparently it can go very, very wrong as well. So it's a bit of an art to do it. But also, it does look a bit grim, doesn't it? It looks a bit like dog poo. I don't know. Sourdough. Has anybody got involved in the sourdough movement, is what I'm calling this. I'm not a fan of this movement whatsoever. My sister isn't watching this, which is a good job because she sent us some yeast. Sarah's involved in this. And that yeast has just decided to explode every morning when we come to the fridge. So if anybody offers you some, say no. But look at the rise in searches again for this. It's incredible. It's incredible. As well as frying pan pizza. Yes, this is a thing. This is the next one that's on its way to you if you haven't heard it. Yes, Vicky, you have done this. Is this frying pan pizza or sourdough? Because if it is frying pan pizza, you're ahead of the curve here. But what this does mean, yes, pizza, frying pan pizza, it's a thing, and they do look good. But it does go to our waistlines. And what we've also seen here is a surge or an increase in how to lose weight. It was quite high. It dipped down during lockdown time. And then gradually, as you can see, it's building up and up again over time as we're figuring out what the new normal looks like. Is it blaming Jamie Oliver? Is it? Right, okay. Blaming for lots of things, lots of things. But I find this fascinating. I'm sure you can gauge from my tone and my voice during this. All these are clues, all the things that you think my audience might be changing, their needs, their habits, their wants, their searches. We can find it out. We can do this research ourselves. You can do it yourself as well. Google Trends is the tool I'm using around this. It's absolutely fascinating. And we're also trying things in terms of building confidence, something we haven't done before. Now, it was said, who said it? Was it Michael that said it? How to cut your own hair. Look at the searches on this. Spikes, quite low. Even when lockdown came, we didn't rush to it, but obviously hair grows and it's continued to grow to the point where we are having to do something about it. And we are cutting our own hair. Hence, mine all stuck up on the top of my head right now. Are we doing well with it? No, I don't think we are doing well with it. Here's a great example. You might like that. Apologies if this is anybody on the call right now. We have got some terrible, 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 terrible examples going out there, and kids are not excluded from this either. No, we are cutting kids' hair. Yes, for some reason now we think we are qualified to do this. And look at this one, this poor kid here. Now this is a dad just having a laugh. They have shaved the middle bit of the head and left it long at the side, and even dressed him up in a bow tie and shirt just to make him look like an old man. This is not fair. This is cruelty. Anyway, this is amazing. We are really, really seeing things change, and we have an opportunity to speak here. We've got an opportunity to understand these trends and make some noise around it as a brand if we think we can, if we think we're the right ones to do this. And this brings us to right to speak. What do I mean by right to speak? Right to speak is when there's noise happening out there, let's not just jump on it for the sake of it. Let's understand, is this connected to us and our audience? And do we have a right to speak here? Are people going to look to us to have an opinion on these trends? And what can we connect with? So, for example, this trend around the kitchen and baking, if we sell any ingredients whatsoever, we can be talking there. You know, we can be giving recipes and cooking advice. The exercise thing, you know, again, food, is it healthy food? Is it clothing? Can, again, we be helping people and advising people around this? On the hair and beauty side of things, cutting hair, as a hairdresser, should we be talking around this and giving advice? Would we get a lot of exposure now from doing this? And we'll come back to that one in a moment, the pros and cons of this. What about learning a new skill? You know, arts and crafts. You know, can we relate our products to this in any way? Technology, you know, our mobile phones, electronics. People have got so many questions now. You know, my auntie finished a Zoom call the other night with, can anybody give me an iPad lesson? This is potentially our audience screaming out for help, using technology that they haven't used before, and needing that support around it. And outdoor flowers, even staying in touch with people. You know, is there a way we can tie this all in and be creative with it? Now, there is a little bit of nervousness here. The nervousness is, for example, giving away trade secrets. Let's say you are a hairdresser. Are you really going to advise people how to do their own roots and even send them kits at home? Well, this is your decision. But what we see Those brands that are doing that are building loyalty with their customers now. Now, when they need that support, will they come back to you? Yes, they'll come back to you. More will come back to you. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity to reach people and build hobbies. Are they all going to become full-time hairdressers? No, they're not. It's just this moment in time, and you can be there with them. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I'm talking very fast today, so apologies for that. I'm trying to stick to the half an hour limit that I promised. So the next thing is engagement. There's one thing just finding out about people, where they are and what they want, and there's next thing actually engaging with them. So when we talk about engagement, first thing you have to do is say something. That sounds crazy, but if you're saying nothing, you can't engage. Don't overthink this. Say something. And be on trend. It's a great way to start. Look around for what people are doing. Photos. You've probably got an archive of these already. Go back, reshare them, see what's relevant. A photo works so much better than just text. Hashtags. So share hashtags. Just when you see a trend, get the right hashtag and use it. A great way of reaching more people. Ask questions. Questions are the best way of getting engagement. What do you want? Do you like this? Don't you like this? Are you struggling here? It's just a fantastic way of getting engagement. Engagement breeds more followers, and it grows and grows and grows. And if you can, do it at the right time of day. Now, you might know your audience. You might know when they're most active. Great. If not, you can find out this information, but post at a time when you think they are going to be active, so it's not lost in the noise. And we've said it before on Instagram, use emojis linked directly to success. I think it's 15% more engagement just by having an emoji in there. So a fantastic thing to use. So engage. And when we say engage, there's also just the two-way engagement, not just pushing out content, the listening, the acting upon, the learning from. And this is arguably more powerful. And what we say here, a few things. First of all, seek out those people that you can engage with, search for them, and read what they're saying. Get a gauge. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they struggling right now? What help do they need? What are they doing? And share things with them. This doesn't have to be content that you're doing. This can be other things that you feel really, really important to them, useful to them. You could just be sharing them and still be valuable to them right now. And tagging in those people that you think really need this help. Identifying them, tagging them in. This is almost about building a community. There's a lot of sharing going on right now, and you can be part of that. If you find something that would benefit people, tag them in. It's really simple, and you're not doing much work here. The next thing is comment. Comment goes a long, long way, and you can have some fun with comments as well. So, for example, Chili P said at Royal Mail, I'd like to make a complaint. My Valentine's cards still haven't arrived. To which Royal Mail replied, sorry to hear that. When exactly did your mum post them, and what service was used? And it's an amazing thing you can do. Share a bit of humor just in the comments. People see this, people buy into it. Netflix are great on this. Look at them for inspiration. Greg's really good at this as well. Yorkshire Tea are fantastic with it as well. Thank you, Vicky. Tesco as well. You can have a bit of fun. The great thing about this is not creating content. This is just words, and we can all do this, and you can get involved in the conversation. And then the final one, and I think this is the most important thing right now, is share some love. A hug. I think you can now do on Facebook, a like, a wow, whatever it might be. This can go a long, long way now. And just clicking that button, clicking that like really does have an impact. And I think if you're going to do anything right now online on social media, it's just that. Show some love, tell people that you're there, comment on their story, whatever you can do. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, but there's also a lot of good stuff out there at the minute. Captain Tom Moore, what he did was amazing, and how people got behind that. The clap for carers, the going out every Thursday, banging the pans. Banksy, I don't know if you've seen it at Southampton NHS, where he's done the poster of the NHS nurse as the superhero. There's some amazing stuff out there. You've got to seek it out and get involved with it. And I think that love, that passion will go a long, long way. So hopefully that has helped. Now, questions. Let me see if you've got any questions. If you have got any questions, please throw them in below now. A couple of things. A little summary before we do questions. I can see that we do have a question in here. Thank you, Sarah. I'll come to that in a second. Is think about the trends. Think about what people are doing. Think about how your customers' needs are changing. Say something is better than nothing, and just engage. A like, a share, a tag is going to go a long way. We're going to build relationships now that will stay with us for a long, long time. And that's the aim of this. Be as truthful and as honest as we can be. So Sarah asks a question. Okay. Should I use hashtags? If so, which one? Yes, you should use hashtags. It's very dependent on what you're talking about. I'm not a fan of having some predefined hashtags. It's very much going and sourcing the ones. I use a website called all-hashtags.com, which I think is brilliant for this. It finds the one which are the most use and different things, but also just search. Just search and find the ones that other people are using is probably the best way of doing that. Another one from Sarah here. My son wants to know what my favorite emoji is. It has to be the poo emoji, and I hope that has brought a massive smile to your son's face. I'm sure it will have done. Without a doubt, it is the poo emoji. So thank you for that, Sarah. And Vicky, emojis again, good or annoying? Well, on Instagram, for example, they are linked with the people that have the most accounts. People can read emojis, and it's a massive tip just to try and up your emoji game. It's really, really useful. So think of them as good. Can you over emoji? I'm not seeing it in the evidence, but find something that's relevant for you. Hope that helps, Vicky. And Andrew, it's good to see you here. Back to the user stats. Were they global or UK? They were UK. I'm surprised at Twitter being aged 16 to 35 and Pinterest so young. Yeah, do you know what? The Pinterest thing is interesting. So they're active monthly users, and that's probably why Pinterest is a bit more of a fair weather thing. People drop into it and come out of it. However, Pinterest is probably one of the most engaged things. If you've got good content on there, it has a better engagement rate than others. So it's not so much about the numbers, it's about what those people are doing. So still consider it. But it is good to know if you're putting effort into a channel, make sure that it's a channel that's got the people on it. Marion has asked, hashtag website. Yeah, it's all hashtags. I'll put it in the thing here, tags.com. And just put www before that, or throw it into Google if I've made a typo there. And Perrin, as a photographer, should I use Pinterest more? Yes, I really think you should, Perrin. Depending on what you specialize in, let's say, for example, it is weddings. If it is weddings, definitely. People getting married will use Pinterest. They'll create their boards, their style of their photography, everything about it. And if you're one of those links, you've got a chance of winning a customer there. So yes, but just depending on that niche. Helen, hello, Helen. She said, is it okay just to like a post on Instagram, or do they always need a comment? No, a like is absolutely fine. I think of it as stages. A like is that quick, yeah, we've seen something, acknowledged it. A comment takes a bit more time and effort, as you know. So it's just going that bit further. Personally, if you really want to connect with someone, go for the comment every time, and just make sure that comment is really thoughtful as well in that moment. Andrew, has the lockdown affected the best time to post, thinking for different channels? Yes, it has. It really, really has. Now, whether this is just a short-term thing, but obviously people's routine has been thrown on its head as a sweeping statement. So those times have changed. So think about your average customer. But if it doesn't fall into that average customer, then have a look inside the platform. Things like Instagram will show you the best time when your audience is most engaged under a business account on Instagram, which you can upgrade to for free. All hashtags doesn't work. Let me look into that. I'll double check that. It might just be allhashtag.com. Yeah, I'll double check that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Helen. So, how are we doing on time? We've gone over. Of course we have. There was no chance we were going to get this all done in time. So I'm going to pop a link in here for the feedback again. Please do feed the feedback. Complete the feedback. Let us know what's useful, what's not useful. As a general rule, you guys are saying this 30-minute powwow is good for you. Lots of links, lots of tips, and keep it upbeat. But again, if you feel different, let us know. And thank you. So next week, we have got Time Well Spent. Again, it's Monday at 1 o'clock. Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. It's done me a massive favor there. All-hashtag.com. So no plural on it. Thank you, Sarah. And next week, it's Time Well Spent. How can we use our time now to determine future success, which I feel like it's a very relevant thing that could really hit the note for us right now. So I can't see any more questions. So I will just say a massive thank you. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, guys. Thank you for playing along. And again, everybody watching on demand, it's great to have you here. And hopefully see you for another boost soon. Thank you.